Welcome to Sense and Nonsense A to Z, where we pick topics based off of the letter of the day. Today is episode 4 of season 3, featuring the letter D.
We're family and we're your hosts, AT and Z. So let's get started. Okay, so I say hello in a different language every week, right?
Yes.
And I always thought that the Gaelic hello was pronounced diadhuit, Diadhuit, right?
Okay.
I come to find out that it's Gia Reach. So it's Gia Reach, Z?
With a G?
It's kind of like a hard G, like J kind of thing. And then when it's DH, it's like an HW. So my apologies to our Gaelic friends.
Oh, that's a shame. I liked Diadhuit.
I did too. When I first researched that, that's the way I heard it the first time. And then I'm doing a little research and I said, let me just make sure, that it's maybe not a little different with the dweet,
Oh, yeah.
So I'm like, Geo Reach. I'm like, oh my God, I've been saying it wrong. So anyway.
Oh, man.
Yep. So that's an Irish hello. And it also means God be with you. So again, my apologies.
Oh, wow. All right. Well, thanks for checking on that then.
Whew. We have a birthday going on.
Yeah, that's true.
It's Z's birthday, folks.
Yes, it is. Happy birthday to me.
Got any plans?
I don't think so. That sounds terribly lame, doesn't it?
How about cake?
Oh, always cake.
Oh, there's always cake.
Oh, there's always cake.
That's good.
Yeah. There has yet to be a birthday without cake. Even if I gotta buy that thing my damn self,
yep,
it will be cake.
Yes.
Yeah.
It doesn't need to have your name on it.
No, don't care about that. No.
That's right.
Yeah, I'm sure later I'll do something. I just don't know what.
Don't know what. You got time.
Not everything is planned.
No, that's for sure.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Are we ready to get started?
Let's do it.
Here we go.
All right. What do you want to start with?
Let's go with the quote first.
Okay.
All righty. This one is from Mark Twain. Good decisions come from experience. Experience comes from making bad decisions.
That's a great quote, AT. Thank you for bringing it up.
Yep.
Going beyond normal now.
Yep. Here we go.
Avoidance of bad decision making has been of pretty high importance to me for most of my life. It happened anyway, a fair number of times. Sure. And when it did, I spent a lot of my time beating myself up for it.
We all do that. Yeah.
Yeah. Even logically, when there's no point to that, you do it anyway.
Yeah.
And it's really not a smart thing to do because I know those bad decisions have done just as much for me as the good ones have.
Right.
Years ago, I had a manager named Gary. And when I told him I was leaving the company we worked for, he started asking me all these questions. Things like what I wanted in a job. Did I want to work with people? Did I want to work in an office with numbers, account management like I was doing, and on and on and on, that sort of thing.
What was that, an exit interview kind of thing?
No, it wasn't an exit interview. He was just asking me questions.
Okay.
And I said to him, aren't you trying to get me to stay? I didn't understand why he was asking me all these questions because it wasn't an exit interview.
Okay.
And he said, well, I'd like you to stay. But more importantly, I'd like you to know what you want to do.
Oh.
Asking questions and figuring out what you don't want drives clarity about what you do. And I had never heard anything like that before.
Right. It's a different way of thinking.
It totally was. Yeah. And he was a great manager. In fact, if he had been the big boss, I probably would have stayed there longer. But anyway, it's the same with bad decisions. Learning from those bad decisions gives you valuable information about moving your life forward in the direction you would prefer to go.
Right.
So in a lot of cases, the bad decisions are more valuable than the good decisions for that reason. And as a bonus to helping your life personally, they also provide a bridge to empathy for others trying to figure their life out. I call this the oh man, I've been there.
Yeah.
Connection.
Mhm.
The fact that you have been there does two immediate things for the other person. First, it offers relief, right? I'm not alone or a complete idiot for making this decision, and second, and more importantly, it offers hope that this bad decision that they've made doesn't doom them forever.
Right.
Or irreparably, right?
Yeah.
You haven't screwed up your life, because when you're making bad decisions, it often feels that way. Like, oh, you've screwed it up forever and there's no coming back. You might even have a helpful piece of advice to offer the person who is struggling now. So give yourself a break over those bad decisions. Let them be the experiences that turn into wisdom with the grace of your compassion. Give yourself a break. These bad decisions are going to happen. And like Mark Twain said, that's how you get experience. And if you wait long enough, that experience turns into wisdom. So.
If you wait long enough, you'll have a lot of bad experiences. Yeah. I get
Despite your best effort.
Right.
Yeah.
They kind of add up.
They kind of do. They kind of do. You look back at it and you're like, wow, I made a lot of bad decisions.
Yeah.
But
you got to turn it around. You got to spin it.
Exactly. You've also made good decisions. You just tend to, like we were talking about anger, you just tend to hang on to the bad ones more,
That's true.
Mark Twain, so smart.
Yeah.
All right, next.
I have a top 10 most popular cocktail drinks. So it's drinks.
Okay.
2023. This is as per liquor.com. And this is making it very obvious that I do not go to bars.
Are we going to have a lot of, what the heck is that question?
There's definitely one of those. Okay, so the number one, the bourbon old fashioned.
Really?
I'm like, really?
How about that?
I would have thought that a martini would have been number one, but espresso martini is number two.
Jeez, it's not enough to have a martini. You got to have an espresso martini.
Exactly.
Jeez.
With a zing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Number three is a Manhattan.
All right. That's classic.
Yeah. Number four is a White Russian.
Yummy.
Number five is one of the popular martinis. It's a dirty martini. It's number five.
You love that one.
Are you ready for number six?
I don't know.
Porn star martini.
What the heck is that?
Heard of it. I looked into it. It has a mix of vanilla and passion fruit flavors.
All right. That might be good.
That might be really good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Number seven is a favorite, margarita.
Okay. Yummy.
Okay. And number eight, never heard of it before. It's a Negroni.
Oh, yeah. I've heard of that.
You have?
Yeah. Yeah.
Never heard of it. Okay. Number 9 is a Mai Tai, and number 10 is a whiskey sour.
How about that? I'm surprised there's no like gin and juice or gin and tonic or nothing on there.
Like a screwdriver.
Yeah.
No.
How about that?
Those are the 10 most popular cocktail drinks of 2023, according to liquor.com.
Nice.
I've got some headlines.
Yay!
The first one I have is Levi's, the denim brand, announced that they will be using AI-generated models.
That's weird.
I thought so too. They said that it will help promote diversity, equity, and inclusion, and that they're not looking to replace real models with technology. Instead, the AI-generated models would supplement human models to create a more personal shopping experience for its customers. So this has had a bit of a backlash. You can only imagine. Yeah. I don't know how I feel about that, but I'm not I'm not the marketing person.
Creating inclusion and equity by taking humanity out of that equation.
It's a good question. I mean, there's enough models out there. People
need to work.
Yeah, exactly.
Employ people.
Exactly. So, but if you want diversity, there's enough diverse people in our universe that you don't have to resort to AI as far as I'm concerned.
Agreed.
All right. Second thing I have is that there's a new kid on the Sesame Street block.
Oh, really?
Yes. First ever Filipino Muppet.
Oh, cool.
He's a little boy named TJ.
Oh,
And it's in honor of the AAPI month, which is Asian American Pacific Islander.
nice.
Adorable.
I'm sure.
Yep. So
All
I'll
the
be posting.
Muppets are. They're
I
all
know.
so cute.
I love them all. I'll be posting a little picture of him with us
Awesome.
on our video. Absolutely. Okay. Third thing I have is Peloton recalls 2.2 million exercise bikes over a safety hazard.
Really?
The bike's seat posts can break during usage, which will cause a fall and possibly an injury.
Will it?
35 reports of breakage and 13 injuries. This is their second major recall. Their first was in May of 2021. People were falling. Pets, kids, objects were falling and getting pulled under the treadmills. So in this case, it's the bike. Last time it was a treadmill. Yeah.
Wow.
I know.
That's fantastic.
I hear you. The next thing I have is the Screenwriters Guild went on strike this month.
They sure did.
It's mainly about compensation.
Mm-hmm.
So while companies are making mega dollars, writers in general are making less today than they did 15 years ago.
Yeah, especially with all the streaming that's been going on.
Exactly.
That is a big disparity there.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yep, exactly. So it's affected the late night shows.
Mhm. Definitely.
Yeah, and some of the HBO shows, obviously. The last strike was in 2007, lasted for 100 days, and the longest strike was in 1988, 153 days. They did announce that it's going to take a while. It might be months.
I don't understand what the problem is.
I don't
Without the
either.
writers, you have no content.
I know.
You have no show.
I agree.
Why is it such a hard thing to pay them fairly?
I don't understand it either.
Actors are making millions.
Yes. Yeah.
Millions.
Yeah, exactly.
These companies are making billions.
Right.
And the
Right.
writers can't be compensated fairly?
I know. And we're talking about over 11,000 screenwriters.
That is absurd. That's
This is like
absurd.
nothing here.
Yeah,
Come
it's
on.
nothing. No, they deserve their piece.
I agree.
They
with
are
you.
making this content. There would be none.
Yes.
Whether it's quality or not is a different story. They
Mhm.
are still responsible for the content being produced.
Yep. It's ridiculous.
It
Okay,
is.
last thing I have you're going to love.
Okay.
In Springfield, Colorado, a driver was pulled over for speeding. As the officer watched him maneuver inside his car, he got out of the passenger side because he switched places with his dog to avoid arrest.
Oh my God.
So he got out of the passenger side, and the man said, "I wasn't behind the wheel," but he was clearly drunk. So when the officer asked him how much he had to drink, he ran.
Oh my goodness.
And the officer tackled him about 20 yards away, just got him right down. But yeah, he was blaming the dog.
That is very creative.
Yes. I wasn't
That you
driving. It
that
was
you
the dog.
think that the officer is gonna believe for 1 second
As
that
he's
this
watching
dog is
him.
responsible. Oh my God.
Can you imagine?
Sometimes you got to worry about the state of humanity when you hear stuff like this. It's like,
It's like
I
sad.
understand you're trying to get out of it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? I understand that impulse. You're like, oh crap.
Yeah,
This
now
is
what do I do?
happen. Yes.
I'm going to trade
However-
places with the dog.
Blaming on a dog. That's like my dog ate my homework.
Yeah. That's exactly it.
It's not, which brand is it? I think, is it Subaru that has the dogs
Yes.
driving the vehicle?
Adorable. Yes.
Yes.
The
They're so
retrievers.
cute.
I know.
There's this new one when the dogs are mudding and they had the
Yes.
window open. It's
Right.
super cute. But that ain't real. Dogs don't drive cars.
Oh,
so funny.
Lord. Yeah. So anyway. All right. So that's what I have for headlines.
Okay, sounds good. Let's work through our Big Bang Therapy checklist.
Okay. I am ready. I have notes all over the place on this one.
This is a very noteworthy episode. It's season 3, episode 8, the adhesive duct deficiency.
And I got to tell you something. This one pops up on every top 10 list.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, we got to do this one.
got it. It's a great episode.
It really is. Yeah.
The premise is Leonard, Raj, and Howard are camping out to watch the Leonid meteor shower.
Right.
And Sheldon has stayed behind to work on a paper, and everybody is gleeful about this.
Which happens to be one of my favorite laugh out loud moments.
Oh, okay.
When Leonard says, "Oh, too bad Sheldon couldn't come with us," and Raj says, "It's just not the same without him." Then there's a pause. Then everybody busts out laughing.
And he's doing Sheldon's personal log, and he's talking about it, and then he's like, "I do miss the human interaction." And then he pauses, and then he laughs to himself.
I know.
In conjunction with that, Penny falls in the shower. She slips and falls, and she dislocates her shoulder and enlists Sheldon to take her to the hospital.
Yes.
So that's the other storyline that's going on. One of the things that I absolutely love about this episode is Sheldon is on the phone arguing the Siam Palace about
his order,
breaking up the orders, right? And he's on a roll.
Right.
And suddenly Penny screams, "Sheldon, help.
Help." Right.
And immediately he's like, "I've got to go." Immediately.
Yeah. Right.
And he says a little bit more because he can't stop his train.
Of course he can't.
And he hangs up, but he does go over there immediately. However, she's in the bathroom and there are 3 doors between them, and he knocks and Penny's every door. And
idiosyncrasy.
Yes.
There you go.
And when he gets to the bathroom, she's like, "Don't you dare knock." Because he's trying. When she's like, "I'm in the bathroom," and he's like, "Should I come back later?"
Exactly.
Like, get in here. That is a good laugh out loud moment for sure.
Yes.
There's a lot of good stuff in this episode, and both storylines are so rich.
They are.
The adhesive duct deficiency comes from the fact that once Sheldon actually does make it into the bathroom, he sees that she has nothing on the bottom of her tub to stop her from slipping. And he says that he has adhesive ducts, and they're whimsical because they're carrying little umbrellas. Throughout this episode, the adhesive ducts comes up. She fell because she had a lack of adhesive ducts on the bottom of her tub, and tubs are slippery. He has to take her to the hospital, and she needs help because she's wet and naked. So she's like, "You have to help me get dressed." And she makes him close his eyes so he doesn't look. And he's
how about when he's picking out the clothes?
Yeah.
The first shirt and shorts, right?
Right. No.
Next one he picks, no. He just picks 2 other things, and she goes, "Oh, that's cute."
So he's got to get her dressed, and she's like, "I need you to help me get my arm in this shirt." And he's like, "Okay." So he's got his eyes closed, and he reaches for her arm, and he doesn't get her arm. And she goes, "Is that my arm? It doesn't feel like an arm." She's like,
"Maybe you should let it go." It's a good part.
It is a good part. And then later, this is a thing that I have run into with a lot of people. Mm-hmm. They're in the car finally, and they're shenanigans. But he says, "May I ask you a personal question?" She says, "Sure." He goes, "Why do you have the Chinese character for soup tattooed on your right buttock?" And she goes, "I don't. It's courage." And he's like, "No, it's soup." I know a lot of people who have Chinese characters, and they are wrong. They thought they were getting one thing, and they've gotten something completely different. One of the catchphrases that is in this is "soft kitty."
Yeah.
Which is so adorable because once they get home from the hospital, Penny is hopped up on painkillers.
Right.
And she's like, "Sheldon, you have to help me get into bed," which is, she thinks is hilarious anyway. He gets her in there, he gets her all tucked in, and she goes, "Sing me Soft Kitty." And he's like,
Soft Kitty's just for when you're sick.
That's right. She's like, "Well, I'm a kind of sick." So reluctantly, he sits down and agrees. And then she's like, "Let's sing it in a round." I'll start.
And he's totally confused.
He doesn't want it to happen, but he at some point gives over to the fact that it's going to happen with or without his consent.
Exactly. And she tells him, "I've got all night."
That's right. And they start singing it, and he joins in, and they do it. And then afterwards, you can see just for the brief moment, he was like, wow, that was really satisfying.
Really good.
Yeah.
It was good.
The food, they never got food from Siam Palace, but
However,
the gents, oh my God, they ate these pot cookies from these older ladies.
Older teachers, right? They were 50, 55.
Yeah, they were driving a Volkswagen minibus.
Right.
And they had Grateful Dead t-shirts on.
That's right. And obviously they went through menopause, which is nature's birth control.
That's right.
Oh my God, I can't believe they said that.
I know. They were pot cookies, which made the guys tear through their supply of food, which included pudding and Slim Jims. They were organizing a raid on a Boy Scout camp when Howard stumbles across an I Love You brisket that his mom packed for him in his backpack, along with a Tupperware full of carrots and potatoes. Yeah. And they're eating it with their hands.
Of course.
They have gone feral at this point. They have their shirts on their head.
Over the head. Muddied faces.
Muddied faces.
Like they're going into Vietnam.
Yeah. Howard is wearing his belt like it's like an ammo thing. They're also high as kites. Yeah. Talking about crazy stuff. Right. Raj is talking about how if he could speak rabbit speak, he would be the king of the rabbits. Right. Right. Leonard is going on about how he hates his name because it has nerd in it. And Howard is talking about losing his virginity
to his
cousin. My God.
Of which is my cringe moment.
Okay.
I actually have two, but that's one of them.
One of my laugh out loud moments is at the end of the episode, they're sitting around the campfire and Raj is telling like a ghost story. And then he's like, and he found out, dun, dun, dun. She was his cousin.
Exactly.
And they start cracking up. And Howard's like, that's not funny. And one of the things that Raj had done earlier is he made fun of Leonard's American accent. He said that everything he said sounded like he was stupid. And he was mimicking him in that accent. And it was really funny. Yeah. And so Raj goes, that's not funny. And then they start cracking up again. Yeah. And then he's like, you're a douche. And he goes, who cares? You slept with your cousin. And they started cracking up. And that's my laugh out loud moment.
There's another laugh out loud moment that I liked.
Okay.
When Leonard's really high and the earth is just moving way too fast.
Yes.
And he tells Raj, just slow it down.
Yes.
And then
he goes,
Raj,
okay.
Yeah. He bears down.
Yeah.
And then he says, how's that? Oh, much better.
I feel like I'm laughing too much for this. But
it's a great episode.
My cringe-worthy moment is when Sheldon and Penny are sitting in the waiting room of the hospital.
Yes.
She goes, could you try to be a little comforting?
Yeah.
And he goes,
and he tries.
And it's so creepy.
It really is that he tries to like touch her and he can't touch her shoulder. And
he can't bring himself to do
it. I know.
But he's trying.
It's just a weird look on his face too.
Yeah, it's
I know.
Terrible.
That's my second cringe moment.
Yeah. And she's like, thanks, that's much better.
Yeah.
One of the other idiosyncrasies that I really love is when the guys, the pot has kicked in and they've gone feral and they've taken their shirts off and everything. Howard still has his dickie around his neck. He has a belt buckle on and it's a red star with like wings or something, but I don't really know what it is.
Yeah, I couldn't make it out.
And there is a Spock alert when Penny and Sheldon are in the car. He's just taking his time and
driving like 5 miles an hour.
God, everybody's passing them. You can see everybody's passing them. And she's like, warp speed ahead, Mr. Spock. And he's like, Mr. Spock did not pilot the Enterprise. He was a science officer. But I assure you, if the Enterprise's check engine light was on, he would pull it over immediately.
Because, of course, Penny's car always has a check engine light on.
Yeah, of course it does.
Yeah.
There are no games played in this episode. However, Sheldon does mention that there's a guy ahead of them in line at the hospital who is having a heart attack, but apparently he's well enough to play Doodle Jump on his iPhone. So that is mentioned. His t-shirt is bats in the form of a question for the Riddler.
Yes. Mm-hmm. It's a good shirt.
It is. It really is.
Yeah.
So the question is,
Penny. How about for you?
in this episode, I am going to pick Raj.
Yeah, he was good in this. Yeah.
All right. So that was our Big Bang Therapy checklist, the Adhesive Duct Deficiency, Season 3, Episode 8.
Is it that time?
Word game.
Envelope, please. Right. You ready?
Yes.
Ringo.
Drummer.
Yes. Yes. Ding, 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 ding.
Dots.
I do not understand. No comprehending.
And dots and
I don't have a clue. I have a feeling it's a saying that I don't know. No.
I'm sure.
Okay.
I'm sure once we say it, you're gonna be like, hyphen,
Dash.
dashes, dots
Okay.
and dashes. Yeah.
Okay. Alrighty. So that's a 3.
Okay.
Oh, that kind of dots. You know what I was thinking? Dots?
Polka
Candy.
dots? Oh,
candy
dots.
dots.
Oh.
I'm thinking of them, you know? Okay. Oh, yeah. My turn. Alrighty. Furniture.
I don't know.
Okay, you want another clue? All right. Bedroom.
Dresser.
Yes. Shoo.
I was thinking living room for some reason.
Oh. I thought you were going to say like Drexler or something, like a brand of, yeah. All right, so that's a 4.
Parton.
Dolly.
Yes.
Oh. Right. Okay. Deface.
Damage.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes. That's a 5er.
Mm.
It went from a smile to a, I don't know, ruh-roh?
Doggies.
Doggies. All right. It could be anything. Okay, doggies, dachshund.
Spots.
Dalmatian.
Yes.
All right. We'll go with 4 on that one. Okay, my turn. Gemstone.
Diamond.
Yes.
Oh.
Ooh. Yay.
Yeah. Sahara.
Desert.
Yes.
Yes.
I had to mentally check myself. 1 S
Yeah.
or 2.
Exactly. That's what I was going to say.
It's 1.
Okay.
So
Okay.
I know I'm correct.
Very good. All righty. This one's easy. Yummy.
Delicious.
Yes.
Yay.
Told you it was easy.
Yes. Sometimes though.
I
I'm
know.
like, oh,
I know.
it's easy. Wait a minute. Gas.
Gas. Diesel.
Yes.
All right. Ooh. Yeah. Ooh, we got some other ones in here. Hold on. 4, 8, 11, 46.
That's good.
That's not bad.
That's really good.
Yeah. I thought we did worse than that. No, we didn't do too
We
bad.
didn't.
Yeah, we had a bunch of 5ers. That's right.
Yeah. That's good.
Whew, we got through that.
I know.
You want to hear what my bonus one was?
Sure.
My 6th one?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to give you
Mm-hmm.
Tyrannosaurus.
Dinosaur.
Yep. You see, you would have gotten it.
This one is I'm gonna do milk.
Okay, milk. Dairy.
Yeah.
Okay. See, we would have done good on
We would have
those.
gotten it. Yeah, we would have gotten it.
All right.
Let's do the Desert Island playlist.
I know you're excited about this one.
I am, but I'll
I
tell
know.
you, I struggled with this one.
This one's hard.
This week's band is Def Leppard.
Yay. And I'm going to predict we're only going to have one in common.
I've been listening and it's been so fun. I mean, really, really fun.
It's one of our favorite bands.
It's one of our favorite bands. This is another one like Queen that really binds us together. Mm-hmm. We are of the same mind with this band. However, they have 12 albums. This is a huge catalog, and not only that, but their style changed a lot.
Of course.
When I'm listening to this, I'm like, oh, love that song. Oh, love that
song.
Oh, love that song. But there's such different styles that it's hard to pick just three. So I predict that there are going to be a lot of honorable mentions. Def Leppard, for my number one is Pour Some Sugar on Me.
That was the one I predicted that we were going to be alike.
Me too.
You figured that was going to be on my list too.
Yeah.
I put that number 3 actually.
That's fine. I know it's going to be on the list because this is another one of those songs that is MTV era.
Yes.
And every time I listen to the song, even now, and I know you do the same thing, I still do the
2 and 1.
You know, every time it's just in the cells. That's how it is. And so Pour Some Sugar on Me. Plus it was like a rock anthem when it came out.
Yes, that's right.
And it kind of still is. And this song was in that movie Rock of Ages. You see that movie Rock of Ages?
Yeah, of course.
And Tom Cruise. Yes, he plays the lead and he sings this song.
Yes, he does.
So this is an iconic song.
Yeah. And it's funny that you said rock anthem because I tend to go after that. Like I've mentioned before, I try to picture myself on a desert island and I'm going towards the rock anthems. All right. So do you want to hear my number one?
Yes.
Rock, Rock Till You Drop.
Such a good song.
It's a great song.
It
Hold on to your hat. Hold on to your heart. Yep.
Pyromania, the entire album is on my
honorable
mention.
Of course.
Okay.
Between Pyromania and Hysteria. Please.
Yeah, I know. Both those albums are amazing. My number 2 is Rock of Ages.
Oh my God. So that's my number 2 as well.
Okay.
All right. So we got 2.
I can't imagine a world in which I don't have access to that song.
Yeah.
That's a favorite.
So two of them.
Sticking with 2.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. It's been a theme of ours.
It has.
All right, so we're waiting for your number 3.
I think I'm going to surprise you with my number 3. My number 3 is Personal Jesus.
They did a total surprise.
They did an amazing bluesy electric version of Personal Jesus, and it's infectious. I love it so much that when I hear it, I can't listen to it just once. I liked that song when Depeche Mode did it. But I love the crunchy guitar that Phil Collins makes in this song, and Joe singing it is just like so smooth and it's almost like elegant. I don't know. I really love their version of Personal Jesus, so I put it on my playlist and I thought that I would surprise you with that one.
You did. It's personal for you.
It is. It is. Yeah.
I get it.
My number 1 honorable mention is Photograph.
Oh, I love that song.
I know, me too.
I love that song. I mean, that brings you back to the MTV era as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah. That's an honorable mention for me too.
And then my second one is Women.
Oh, really?
I love that song. And then basically the whole Hysteria and Pyromania albums just follow, you know, Foolin', Rocket, Animal.
Animal isn't my honorable mention.
Yeah, they're so good. Do you have any other honorable mentions that you want to mention?
No,
you're good.
I'm good. How about, we could go through all the albums. Are you kidding me?
I mean, even like Adrenalize, which I don't really like that album, there's still a couple good songs on it. You know what I mean? Like, so I just did want to mention that when I was growing up, there's no way I thought this would ever happen, but they made it into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 2019.
Yes, they did.
And I was really touched when they did because Rick Allen got a standing ovation. I thought that he deserved that so much. For those of you who don't know, he lost his left arm in an accident in 1983 in a car
accident.
A Corvette. driving a Corvette, and he almost lost his right arm too.
Yes, he did.
And
Yes,
he
did.
basically reinvented the drums for himself and has had a 40-year career playing the drums. So yeah, that was really, really touching, to see. Do you agree with our picks? We'd love to hear what your choices would be. So leave us a comment on our Facebook page, Sense and Nonsense A to Z, and let us know which 3 songs by Def Leppard you would put on your Desert Island playlist.
All right, so moving on to A to Z sports. The MLB is tinkering with rule changes, as we know. There's a few of them that are currently being tested in the Atlantic League, which is an independent professional baseball league. It's called the double hook DH rule. So this is how it goes. If your pitcher doesn't go 5 innings and you have to pull him for any reason, you lose your DH.
Why?
And it's all about safety anymore, but it's like, okay, now you're going to try to make your starting pitcher have to go to 5 innings. So I don't know about this one.
I don't see any good argument for that.
I don't either.
You won't let him pitch
100
more than
pitches.
100 pitches.
Which is easy to do within 4 innings. I mean, technically you could do 100 pitches in 3 innings, or
right.
It's easy to get to 100. I don't know how this one is.
Penalize them for not getting enough strikes is basically what you're saying. You're penalizing somebody for not getting enough strikes
to get through the 5th inning. Correct.
Yes. Yeah. I'm not sure I like the way this direction thing is going.
Yeah, I don't like this rule at all. So I hope it doesn't make it into the MLB. Okay, next thing I have. Remember we were talking about the catchers getting clunked in the head?
Yes.
I saw a new one the other day. It was from the Mets shortstop, Francisco Lindor, who was at the plate. He swung, the bat slipped out of his hand and clunked the catcher right straight in the face mask. And I'm like, oh my God, there's got to be some sort of fine for this kind of stuff. Hold on to your bat. Okay, you've played baseball for a long time. Have you ever lost your bat?
Never.
Never, me neither.
Never once.
Never once have I lost the bat when I was swinging. Never. You got to be either automatically out or automatically out and fined if you hit the catcher. I'm sorry.
I've hit myself. I've whacked myself in the back, Yeah. But never
let go.
Have I let go?
No.
Have I lost it? Has it gone flying out of my hand?
No.
Never.
See that all the time too. I don't get it. It's the golf swing that you're supposed to hold like you're holding a baby bird, not a bat.
Right. And not only that, but you've got gloves on your hand.
You got sticky stuff.
You're a big, strong friggin' guy.
Come on.
And you can't hold on to your bat.
Come on.
You got to be kidding me.
Seriously. Next thing I have, we're going to move over to the NFL. The Washington Commanders owner Dan Snyder has entered into an agreement to sell the football team. Really? To a group that includes the 76ers owner, Josh Harris.
Too bad they didn't sell it before they decided on Commanders.
Well, that's true. There's been a whole bunch of lawsuits and stuff against this team. It's been ridiculous. But the deal is still subject to the NFL approval and will require a yes vote from 24 of the 32 owners. Really? A whopping $6.05 billion. Which will be the largest price ever paid for a North American sports franchise.
I have a question about that.
Yeah.
Why is it subject to approval from
the owners? Yep.
Owners. Why?
That's the way it is. That's their organization. That's how it's all set up.
Even when you want
to have 2 more new teams.
I can see.
The owners have to, This is part of the process. This seems
very exclusionary, though. This seems very, we're only going to approve you if we want to approve you. Why can't I buy one if I want one? If I've got the money, why can't I do that? Why do I have to be approved by a bunch of
old white guys?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I know.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
That seems a little bit
unfortunately that's the way the NFL has been set up, until somebody shakes it up.
Yeah.
Oof. Yep. Okay, so staying with the NFL, that the schedules are out. 5 international games this year. 3 are in London and 2 are in Germany. No, nothing in Mexico. I was surprised. And then the last thing I have, keeping with the NFL, is that NBC Universal paid $110 million for the first exclusive NFL playoff game to be live streamed on Peacock. So unless you have Peacock, you're not going to see that playoff game.
I know. I saw that and I was like, ooh, AT is not going to like that
Not
whatsoever,
happy,
because
no.
we've already talked about that happening on like Facebook or whatever that was. And
Yeah. So there we have it, A to Z Sports. The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, Season 5, Episode 4, Susan. And you don't realize why they called it that until really the end.
Yeah.
I think this episode had potential,
Okay.
you know, because it didn't have that flash forward thing. It didn't have that at all. And it had the expo and it had a musical number. So it had the feel of the Mrs. Maisel kind of brand. However, when she realizes that she'll never be on the Gordon Ford show, and she takes it out on this job that she was hired to do.
An important job because they're indebted to Frankie and Nikki,
who are mobsters.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
they're, you know, they asked them to do this favor, which
Just favor. You got to do it.
you got to do it.
And
Because let's face it, they've done a lot.
well, they didn't kill Susie. That's the big thing.
Well, they not only did they not kill Susie, but they also gave her sister a job. They're looking out for Rose.
Yes.
They've helped Midge.
Absolutely.
And they gave Susie an office. I mean,
yeah. And furniture.
And you know what? It does come with strings, absolutely. But it doesn't negate the fact that they've also done it all.
Yeah.
So when they asked her for a very small, very manageable, very easy for her to do favor,
Exactly.
and she screws it up.
And this was the thing. They did the whole production number, which was fun. I was entertained watching it.
Me too.
You know, I thought it pretty much went really well. I thought it was a little long, but you know, but then after she discovered that she would never be on the Gordon Ford show because he has this rule that anybody who works there will never be on the show. Then she pulls a temper tantrum.
Yeah, big one.
A big one.
But not only does she not do her part well, she's actively screwing it up for others.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah,
like I said,
didn't like it.
this definitely had a potential. I mean, it had a storyline of Abe and Rose. They went out to dinner with the group from the Village Voice, right? After seeing a play.
Yeah.
And Abe was a jerk, and he was telling the group that the play was about this real deep thought about confusion with sexuality and tortured relationship with Jesus, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And Rose says, I thought it was about a little boy who lost his dog, you know?
Yeah.
And he's going, I don't expect you to comprehend that, and pretty much calling her a dummy, you know? So she took the bull by the horns and she went over to the playwright who was sitting at a table near them and dragged him over and said, tell the group what the play was about. It's about a little boy who loses his dog. Then Abe has his tail between his legs for the rest of the episode, appropriately so.
Well, he made her look like an idiot in front of
Absolutely.
everybody.
It was terrible.
It was terrible. And instead of letting it drop, he became more and more condescending.
Yeah.
And then she had to embarrass him to basically gain some of her dignity back.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
the whole thing was excruciating.
Right.
Talk about a cringeworthy moment.
Yeah. But you know what? I can deal with it. What I had a real problem was with Midge kind of screwing up the second show.
I had a huge problem with that, especially because her children were there to see the show. And instead of being an adult about it, she had a temper tantrum, which is exactly what Nikki said. This is a temper tantrum. And he was exactly right.
Yeah.
And so now she's screwing it up for not only the people on stage, but now Susie's in it again.
Yep.
And then Joel jumps all over Susie.
I know.
As if it's her fault and blaming her for everything. Now, the situation...
He's blaming her for getting involved with these guys.
That's correct.
She kind of had no other choice. I mean,
she kind of didn't.
They came into her life, I don't even know what season that was, when they tried to kill her.
It wasn't her fault that they were after her in the first place, and she got out of that herself.
And then they became friends.
Yeah.
They were from the neighborhood.
Exactly.
So they became friends. So anyway, and then the other storyline had to do with in previous episodes, you were wondering why when Susie went into Gordon Ford's office and kind of freaked out when she saw a picture of him and his wife. It was like, why'd she freak out? And you had no idea. Mm-hmm. Well, we come to find out that it's because she knew Gordon Ford's wife.
He had a relationship in college.
Like 15 years ago or something like that.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
And there was apparently some plans and promises when they were 22 years old that got screwed up. And the Gordon Ford wife called her Susan instead of Susie. So that's where the name of the episode comes in.
Yeah. And it was interesting because they're having this argument on the street.
Yeah.
And this is a time in the 60s when you weren't allowed. This relationship wouldn't have been okay. Plus, she's married at this point.
Right.
And Susie
married with a caveat.
Right.
Yes.
But still married.
Yes.
To a prominent public figure.
Right.
And Susie's having a temper tantrum on the street. Now, admittedly, this isn't her fault because she said she didn't want to talk to her. And Eddie followed her anyway. And was like, let me buy you a drink. Let's do this, blah, 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 blah. And Susie was like, no, I don't want to talk to you. I don't want anything. And Hetty insisted. So Susie said what she had to say.
Yeah.
However, not all relationships pan out. And you have chosen to not let it go, not talk to her, and not be an adult about it. Now, that is your right, but it makes you look very immature.
Yeah.
Because she's like, please let me explain to you what happened.
Right.
She just wasn't having it. So, I mean, I can see being hurt by it, but she's definitely harboring a grudge. As we've talked about before, she definitely has a grudge.
A decent episode, except for the temper tantrums. I think
of which everybody had. Everybody had, like...
Yeah, you're right. I have a gut feeling that the Frank and Nikki characters are going to come back.
Yeah, and I liked the relationship that they were building, which now has degraded because Midge has screwed this pooch. However, they're saying that they own 30% of Susie for as long as she's Susie Meyerson and everything that Midge does. So that is...
disturbing.
It's disturbing. I did want to just say right now that I did see an article. I haven't read it yet because I haven't continued to watch all the episodes and I don't want any spoilers, but there is an article saying that there may be a Susie spinoff.
Who's fantastic. I mean, she's such a good actress.
Absolutely.
You know, her exchange with Hetty, even though she was pulling a temper tantrum, she was really, really good.
Oh, that was a well-played scene.
Rachel Brosnahan. I mean, she's fantastic. She's a great actress. I'm not begrudging the actors. I'm honestly begrudging the writing. You know, the actors are doing great. They are such good actors. So
I mean, even the Abe and the Rose thing.
Oh, yeah. They're fantastic.
I mean, Tony Shalhoub is phenomenal.
Oh, phenomenal.
But it sucked. I just didn't want to watch it. I just didn't want to see it. You know, when I watch The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel anymore, it's depressing to me. And when I first started watching it, it was fun.
It was fun.
She had struggles, but it was like, oh, she's dealing with them in a great way. Look at what she's doing to deal with all these things. And now it's just like, oh.
Right. Just want to mention one thing. Zelda and Janusz, when they were eating dinner, and they both said Nostrovia.
Yeah.
It's like, yes, Nostrovia. That was awesome. So that is season 5, episode 4.
Are you ready for my deep questions?
Deeper the better.
All right. This first one's not very deep.
Okay.
Don Johnson or Dwayne Johnson?
Don Johnson. Miami Vice, baby.
I knew it.
Yeah. And you're going to be Dwayne Johnson, right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Number 2. Dachshund or Doberman?
Doberman. I tend to go after the bigger dogs.
As do I. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I would pick a Dobie on this one.
Yeah.
Plus, I love Higgins' Zeus and Apollo.
Oh my
I
God.
think
Yeah.
that was my first
Yeah.
experience with Dobermans.
Mhm.
And not that I ever had one. I had a Rottweiler, but the same kind of feel of like being able to depend on a dog to help you out.
Yeah. Cool dogs.
Okay.
Mhm.
All right, here we go. If you could be any kind of designer, what would it be? Like interior, graphic, costume, fashion, jewelry, web product.
Yeah. Fashion.
Fashion.
Yeah. I had considered that when I was a little kid. I used to draw Cher's outfits.
That's cool.
Yeah. When I used to watch Sonny and Cher.
Mm-hmm.
I used to draw her outfits.
She had great outfits.
Oh, please. Mackie? Fantastic. Are you kidding me? Yeah, I know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So how about you?
This is a hard one for me because I like a lot of different kinds, but I think I would probably go with like interior.
Okay.
Something interior.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what Kathy does, as a matter of fact.
It is. I know. Yeah.
Yeah. My friend Kathy.
I know.
So.
I just like changing decor. Like I'm in my house, I'm constantly doing that, changing decor, changing the furniture setup, moving stuff, and switching curtains around and stuff like that. So that's probably what I would do.
You know, it's funny. You go into her house and it's like, what's with all this stuff? Couch is new? Yeah. I put the other couch in a house. It's like, really? Yeah.
That's fun. That's fun stuff.
She has a lot of fun.
Yeah. The next one is a 2-part question.
Oh, okay.
Are you ready? This is how deep it is. It needs 2 parts.
Oh, man. Okay.
Part 1. What is the best vehicle you've ever driven?
Driven?
Mm-hmm.
Probably my Corvette, my 2006 Corvette.
2006 Corvette?
Yeah.
The best car I've ever driven was a 2009 Shelby Mustang manual transmission.
Well, you did that for a while.
Yeah, I used to test drive cars for a living.
Yeah.
And that was the best car I ever drove. That was an amazing car.
Yeah. How many miles did you have to go every time?
Wasn't based on miles. It was based on geography and hours. So I could drive 8 hours in a night. Or I could drive from where I was in Colorado to Las Vegas. So we had different routes. Some of them were mountain routes. Some of them were highway routes. But yeah, so it was basically hours and terrain.
Okay.
That was a fun job. Sometimes if you got a crappy vehicle, that was terrible.
Big problem.
Yeah. All right. So part 2 is, if you could only ever drive one vehicle again, what would it be?
Now, this has to be one of the ones I've driven before. Apparently.
Well, it could be any vehicle, but that's it. That's all you get.
Okay, so if I had my choice, I am going to say a 4x4 truck. Yep. I'm comfortable in it. It takes me wherever I want to go. I can do anything with it, So I have my Ram.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to say a Ram truck.
That's awesome.
Do you know? Now, how about you?
Chevy Tahoe, what I drive.
There you go.
That's what I would pick.
You're comfortable in it, you could do anything.
And I can throw my kid in it.
Yep.
We can put all our stuff in there. We go on road trips.
I can go shopping.
Absolutely. I don't have to be like, I can't shove all this in my bag.
I can go to Home Depot.
Absolutely.
I can go to grocery store.
That's right.
With my preferred vehicle, I can't do any of that.
That's right. I could put chairs in. I could take chairs out.
Exactly.
It's very versatile.
Yes.
I love it. I feel comfortable in it. I don't feel scared on the road.
Yeah, me neither. Yeah.
That's what I would pick. Yeah.
I'm with you on that. Sure.
Yeah. All right. Good answer.
Yeah. Good questions.
Thank you. All right. Last one. Would you rather be deadpan and dependable, or dazzling and daring?
Dazzling and daring. You're laughing because you knew that was the answer.
Yes.
Of course, dazzling. Come on. And daring.
Dazzling and daring.
Of course.
It might make you have to bungee jump.
Oh no, not happening. Okay, so is it dazzling and daring for you too?
Yeah, I would have to.
Yeah,
I have to. I have
so.
to change stuff up. It's got to be dazzling and daring.
Yeah, for sure.
There's too much ham bone, I guess, in my personality. I couldn't be deadpan all the time. And
Yeah, can't do that. All right.
All right, those are the deep questions for letter D. Let's do table topics.
Hey, get the red box out.
All right.
I love this, by the way.
Table topics are fun.
Oh,
we should
man.
do a podcast with just table topics.
We could do that. Okay.
All right. I'm going to ask you this question that I just pulled out, but I'm going to do it with a caveat that is not on this card because I know the answer to this question.
Okay.
The question is, where would you most like to travel? And I'm going to put the caveat with the exception of Greece.
Oh, man. Okay, so I'll go to Italy so I can drive to Greece.
I would go to Italy, but I think where I would most like to travel to do the rest of the UK. I've been to England a bunch of times, even though I haven't seen all the stuff that I would like to see in England. I'd also like to go to like Ireland and Scotland and see those too.
Yeah.
But I would also like to go to Greece. Caveat.
You had to throw that caveat in, huh?
Yeah, because otherwise it's
you knew the
that
answer.
Yeah. All right, next one. Next table topic. If you could work as an assistant to anyone for a year, who would you choose?
Ooh, this is a good question.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is.
My answer?
Okay.
Jeff Bezos.
Really?
Yeah. I want to see what he does every day.
That's fun.
That has to be fun. He's got so many irons in different fires. I mean, it's just crazy.
You know something about me and you that's interesting?
Go ahead.
Is we often have a similar line of thinking, but we come from different aspects of it because who I would pick would be Richard Branson.
He would be cool too.
Yeah. So it's like a similar line of thinking, but from a different angle. Because he too has
he's all over the place too.
My gosh, and he's built so much stuff. You know, so
that would be fun.
Yeah, you get to go all over the place.
Sure.
All right, another one.
Okay,
this is a good one. What one fear would you like to conquer?
Not having enough money for the rest of my life. I'd love to conquer that one. How about you?
I'd like to conquer the fear that my son's not going to be okay if I'm not around. I have a fear.
Of course.
A very real fear about that.
Of course.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah.
Sure. That's a tough fear to overcome.
It really is. And I would like to not have it. I would like to live free of that. I would like to be confident that he will be okay no matter what, you know.
Yeah.
That's a hard one. That makes me want to cry just thinking about it.
That's hard because it's out of your hands.
Yeah,
you definitely.
Know what I mean? Yeah.
Want to do one more?
Yeah, let's do one more just for fun. I can't pick that one because we're doing that.
What was the question?
What's your favorite quotation?
Hold on, let me get that Mark Twain one out.
Okay, this is a fun one.
Okay.
What posters did you have in your room when you were young?
Kiss.
Back of the door, baby.
That's right. I had Queen posters too, but I had Kiss, and I had Mets posters. But first one that came to my mind was my Kiss poster. Yep. How about you?
I had Def Leppard posters.
Yeah.
I had a lot of Def Leppard posters, but I also had Motley Crue, and I had Warrant. My room was wallpaper, mostly Def Leppard though. I had a lot of Def Leppard posters when I was a kid because I loved Joe Elliott.
How about from the teen magazines? You know, they used to have the little, it's like a centerfold, right? But it was a poster.
Yeah.
Used to Bobby Sherman, Davy Jones. Who else did I have?
I didn't. Or maybe Johnny Depp.
Okay.
Because I really liked him on 21 Jump Street, but I didn't do a bunch of teen magazines. It was mostly music at that time for me. Like I probably had some like Guns N' Roses posters and stuff too, and probably some Metallica posters. This is fun.
Oh, I love that box.
This is a great box.
Yeah. So I'm going to wish you a happy birthday.
Thank you.
Sorry I can't be there to celebrate, but
It's all right. I'll get you when I see you.
Yeah, exactly. So enjoy.
Thank you.
Yeah.
If you enjoyed this episode, remember to tell your friends and follow us on Facebook at Sense and Nonsense A to Z, all one word. And wherever you're listening, please like our episodes. And if you're listening on YouTube, subscribe to our channel and be sure to hit the notification bell to get notified of each episode as it becomes available.
We appreciate you listening. With that, we're out of here.
Thank you very much. We'll see you next week.